Conor McGregor, the greatest trash talker or just a fraud? Trash talk sells fights, but does it make a fighter great? Conor McGregor changed the game with his verbal warfare, but was it all hype or did he truly back it up? Let's break it down. Few athletes have shaken up their sport the way Conor McGregor has in MMA. His ability to blend verbal warfare with explosive knockouts made him the biggest star in UFC history. He called his shots, mocked his opponents, and backed it up until he didn't. Now, after years of controversies, losses, and comebacks, the question remains, is McGregor still the king of trash talk or has his act worn thin? Let's break it all down. Number 1. The king of trash talk. Conor McGregor didn't just change the way fighters competed, he changed the way they talked. His trash talk wasn't just about selling fights, it was a weapon. Whether he was predicting knockouts, mocking his opponents, or delivering razor-sharp one-liners, his confidence and charisma made him a global superstar. McGregor had a knack for getting inside his opponents' heads. Before his fight with Jose Aldo, he went on a world tour just to humiliate him at every stop. He snatched Aldo's belt during a press conference, called him a little Brazilian, and convinced everyone that the fight was over before it even started. When the cage door closed, McGregor backed up his words, knocking Aldo out in just 13 seconds. His verbal warfare didn't stop there. Against Khabib Nurmagomedov, McGregor attacked his religion, his country, and his family. He called Khabib's team backward hillbillies and constantly belittled him. While the fight didn't go McGregor's way, the buildup was one of the most heated in UFC history. However, as McGregor's losses piled up, his once feared trash talk started to feel more like an act than a real threat. Was McGregor truly the greatest trash talker of all time, or was he just a fighter who happened to be good with words? Number 2. Early dominance in the UFC. Conor McGregor wasn't just a talker, he backed up every word with jaw-dropping performances inside the octagon. His rise in the UFC was one of the most electrifying and dominant in the sport's history. With his precise striking, unshakable confidence, and bold predictions, McGregor made it clear that he wasn't just here to fight, he was here to take over. One of his most iconic moments came at UFC 194 when he faced Jose Aldo, the undefeated featherweight champion who hadn't lost in a decade. McGregor spent months taunting Aldo, claiming he'd knock him out quickly. When fight night came, it took just 13 seconds for McGregor to prove he was right, landing a devastating left hand that ended Aldo's reign instantly. It was one of the most shocking knockouts in MMA history. At UFC 205, McGregor moved up to lightweight to challenge Eddie Alvarez for the title. Many believed Alvarez's wrestling and experience would be too much, but McGregor put on a masterclass, effortlessly dodging strikes and landing clean shots. He picked Alvarez apart before finishing him in the second round, becoming the first fighter in UFC history to hold 2 belts simultaneously. Beyond title fights, McGregor tore through the featherweight division, dismantling elite fighters like Chad Mendes, Dustin Poirier, and Max Holloway. His speed, movement, and fight IQ made him look invincible. But was this dominance sustainable? Or was it just a short-lived era of brilliance that faded too soon? McGregor, icon or illusion? Before we dive deeper, let us know what you think in the comments. And if you're loving this breakdown, smash that subscribe button to never miss a fight like this. Number 3. The decline begins. After reaching the pinnacle of MMA, Conor McGregor's focus started to shift. Instead of defending his UFC titles, he set his sights on the biggest payday of his career, a boxing match against Floyd Mayweather. While the fight was more spectacle than sport, it earned McGregor over $100 million, making him one of the highest-paid athletes in the world. However, the financial success came at a cost. He was away from MMA for over a year, and in that time, the competition didn't wait for him. When McGregor finally returned, he faced a new level of challenge, Khabib Nurmagomedov. At UFC 229, the build-up to the fight was personal, with McGregor launching verbal attacks on Khabib's family, religion, and team. But inside the cage, the fight was one-sided. Khabib dominated every round, forcing McGregor to tap in the fourth. It was a humbling defeat that exposed the gaps in McGregor's grappling and wrestling. Then came the Dustin Poirier trilogy. In their rematch at UFC 257, McGregor looked sharp early but struggled with Poirier's leg kicks. By the second round, Poirier overwhelmed him and knocked him out cold, the first KO loss of McGregor's MMA career. Their third fight at UFC 264 ended even worse for McGregor, as he broke his leg at the end of the first round, unable to continue. McGregor's once dominant striking no longer seemed enough. Fighters had evolved, and the game had changed. With his losses stacking up, many started questioning whether McGregor was still an elite competitor or just a fading superstar clinging to past glory. Number 4. Controversies outside the cage. Conor McGregor's influence extends beyond the octagon, but not always for the right reasons. While his confidence and aggression made him a fan favorite, his behavior outside of fighting has been just as headline-worthy, sometimes more so than his actual fights. From legal troubles to violent altercations, McGregor's name has been tied to multiple scandals that have divided fans and critics alike. One of the most infamous incidents was the 2018 bus attack on Khabib Nurmagomedov's team. McGregor, seeking revenge for Khabib confronting his teammate Artem Lobov, stormed a UFC media event in Brooklyn with a group of associates. He threw a metal dolly through a bus window, injuring several fighters, including Michael Chiesa and Ray Borg. The UFC condemned his actions, and McGregor was arrested, facing multiple charges. But the controversies didn't stop there. In 2019, a video surfaced of McGregor punching an elderly man in a Dublin pub after the man refused to try his proper number 12 whiskey. The act sparked outrage, with many calling it an unnecessary display of arrogance and aggression. Legal troubles have also followed McGregor throughout his career. From multiple arrests for alleged assaults to lawsuits and accusations, his personal life has often overshadowed his professional achievements. While some fans believe McGregor's wild persona is part of what makes him notorious, others argue that his reckless actions have damaged his legacy more than his recent losses. The question remains, can he still be considered an all-time great with so many controversies surrounding him? Number 5. Is he still relevant? Despite his struggles, Conor McGregor remains the biggest draw in combat sports. Even after multiple losses, he continues to headline UFC events, break pay-per-view records, and command attention like no other fighter. His name alone guarantees millions of viewers, proving his star power is still unmatched. But when it comes to actual fighting, the question remains, can he still compete at the highest level? Looking at his record, the numbers tell a different story. His last dominant win? UFC 205 against Eddie Alvarez in 2016. His recent record? Only one win in the last 5 years, a knockout over Donald Cerrone in 2020. His next fight? Fans are still waiting, but will it be a serious title run or just another massive payday? The UFC has evolved, and newer stars like Israel Adesanya, Sean Strickland, and Colby Covington have taken over the trash-talking role McGregor once dominated. His once fresh persona is starting to feel repetitive, and his inability to win big fights raises doubts about his relevance in the sport. So, is McGregor still a true contender, or is he simply a marketing genius who knows how to stay in the spotlight, even when his fighting days are numbered? Conor McGregor, once unstoppable, now unpredictable. From legendary knockouts to shocking defeats, his journey has been anything but ordinary. But is he still a top contender, or just a master of staying relevant? The fight world keeps changing, and McGregor's place in it is more uncertain than ever. His legacy is undeniable, but his future? That's up for debate. What do you think? Is he still the king of mind games, or has his act worn thin? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's settle this once and for all. The conversation doesn't end here, so let's keep it going.